It's time. It is episode 91, the ATM podcast. Myself, Martin Devlin from the platform, and international commentator of much acclaim, well-respected broadcaster that is Mark Watson, who is in China at the moment. What are you doing up there, Watto?
Yeah, I'm in a little town called Gita at the moment. I'm currently sitting at about 8,000 to 9,000 feet above sea level. I'm up here commentating the tour of Jinghai Lake, the 23rd edition. It's the highest altitude bike race in the world. I was just saying to Lachlan off air, actually, in the Tour de France, you know, big climbs over there are 2,100 metres, the Tourmalet and these sort of famous climbs, Galibier. Yesterday, the riders, 150 of them, rode over a mountain that was 3,400 metres, almost 11,000 feet. And you've got to be pretty comfortable with your head above the clouds, I think it's fair to say.
Apologise to me!
Let's kick it off with Lulu Sun, who plays tomorrow's quarterfinals at Wimbledon. We know the history now behind this first New Zealand woman to get there. And I just want to put a comparison in place here. I mean, I've been shouted down and told that I've got it all wrong, that the All Blacks were underdone, that we didn't have enough time to prepare for a test match, that our players didn't know each other and they hadn't played for weeks. We've got a Black Cap side that can't be bothered turning up to a international T20 tournament because they're on holiday with their families and can't get a practice match organised. We've got White Ferns players who play for fun, and as long as the culture's great, there's no actual serious analysis ever of their performances or results. We have a Football Ferns side that have somehow split with their coach, and once again, it is the coach's fault for losing the dressing room. There's mediation involved, and their results are never scrutinised in any which way whatsoever either. Here you have a young woman who lives a reasonably lonely life on that tour. If you speak to anyone that has played professional tennis, getting to this position where she is now, I mean, it's obviously the ultimate achievement, but so few of them do it. She travels alone, she trains alone, she catches up with the coach when she can, she sleeps on floors, she has cheap Airbnb, she eats budget, all of that kind of stuff. Yet she's playing, and I'm just checking, yes, it is a globally participated in sport, which is one of the most major in the world, and she seems to be overachieving. Is there a lesson in this somewhere, Mark?
Yeah, it's called Jeopardy. It's called Passion and Desire in the face of absolute adversity. These guys are basically playing for food. They're playing just to try and earn enough to get to the next one, and they're doing it because they're chasing a dream, because they have an absolute passion for what they do, and they do it because they're absolutely self-driven. And that's the difference between, say, rugby, cricket, and our other sort of mainstream sports. Life's just too comfortable for them. Too much media coverage, too many people in the background defending them when they're falling over, too many staff employed who need to justify their own jobs. So when a team falls over, they make the excuses, whether it be, they didn't have enough creatine before they started, or, they just, that they missed their families and all this other nonsense and rubbish that we constantly hear. Look, it sort of goes back a little bit, Martin, and I may have mentioned this in the past. I know there was a push from Mahi Drysdale looking to try and get the cyclists and the rowers greater, or get them some sort of pay parity, or get them some sort of financial remuneration for being athletes, for being part of the system. And I just don't agree with it. I think that part of the reason why rowing is so successful, and to a degree our cyclists to a degree on a really big international sport, is the fact that you don't get any money as a youngster. Therefore, if you're going to go down that path, you're doing it for absolutely the right reasons. You're doing it because you love either wanting to represent your country, make it to the Olympic Games, or, as in the case of Lulu Sun, just trying to get into a major tennis tournament. And I'm not even talking Grand Slams, just trying to even get qualify for something even like the ASB Classic here. And this is the message. You don't need the money. You don't need all this other nonsense that they keep telling you, the women's rugby team, we don't have enough time to train. I mean, absolute rubbish. What an absolute joke. All you need is a bit of talent, passion and desire, and that needs to stay resilient in the absolute face of adversity. That should be the model for all sport. That's how we should test all young athletes coming up. I'm not interested in talk and hype and promise, and you should give me this, and you should give me that, and I deserve this, and how tough my life is. Nonsense. Lulu Sun is a great example of what can be achieved. Our rowers are a great example of what can be achieved. Even runners like Geordie Beamish finishing fifth the other day in a steeplechase, a world-class event dominated by the Africans. Lisa Carrington. Yes, she's probably making a living out of it now, but she's only doing that leveraging off the back of actually winning the Olympic Games gold medals. We keep saying them. There's a difference, Martin, between professional athletes and club athletes, and the problem in New Zealand, our high-profile sports operate in a media environment, a politically correct environment that plays into their hands. But the reality is, in comparison to our endurance athletes, to the Lulu Suns of this world, our rowers, they are club athletes, Martin, and I'll continue to say it. They train 2 or 3 times a week and then spend the rest of the time at the damn bakery.
I want to talk about the All Blacks, finally.
Apologise to me!
Look, of course, I'll always be a critic of the All Blacks because I set such a high bar for them, such a high standard. I'm a disciple of the All Blacks of old, guys that actually turned up the day before a test match and actually played well for their country and won a test match and never complained and never earned any money. I'm a disciple of the views of people like Justin Marshall and Murray Mexted and Steve Hansen and Wayne Smith, that what it is about simply is it is about you, how much you want it. You can't point the finger at somebody else and say, we didn't get enough adequate preparation, we were this, we were that, we haven't played enough. Listen, the whole of Super Rugby is geared towards the All Blacks. So for anyone to turn around and actually say to us, oh, they haven't played for 4 weeks. Well, they aren't allowed to play Super Rugby anyway, are they? They get stopped from playing every 5th bloody game. Listen, if you haven't played for 4 weeks as a professional rugby player in this country, whose fault is that? Is it yours, Mark? Is it mine? Is it every other All Blacks fan? Surely you've got a personal training regime. Surely that there is some program in place that says you're going to go out and have physical contact with other players to keep yourself up, that level of intensity up. These are some basic facts here, mate. That Scott Robertson took the job over in November. All of those coaches that are in place have known since November that they were going to be All Black coaches. There was a camp in January for the All Blacks. There was another one after the Super Rugby season finished. 10 days in camp together with a whole lot of guys that have played dozens of tests together sounds to me like enough preparation to play a test match. We didn't play very well. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't impressed by it. I thought it was a pretty average performance from an All Black side that I expected better of. We will get better this week. I guarantee it, because the All Blacks do tend to go upward trajectory and do improve. But I'm just not prepared to buy the narrative that we're constantly getting sold now, mate. Because as soon as we buy that narrative with the All Blacks, that it's all about Instagram likes and it's all about hashtags and it's all about having fun, well, then we're going to lose the focus of what this team is about. And the only thing I care about the All Blacks is how many goddamn tests each year they've won.
Yeah, and look, I expect every time, Martin, the All Blacks to go out, I expect them to win.